What if the most unbelievable places on our planet weren't scenes from science fiction, but real locations waiting quietly on Earth? Across continents, there exist landscapes and structures so surreal they challenge everything we think we know about nature, architecture, and possibility. Deep beneath Alaska's glaciers, the Mendenhall ice caves glow like a hidden world of crystal, shimmering blue tunnels sculpted by time, light, and melting ice, where every step feels like walking inside a living gemstone. High on a cliffside in northern Italy, the sanctuary of Madonna della Corona clings impossibly to vertical rock, its architecture balanced so precariously that it seems to float between heaven and earth. And in the high Andes, Bolivia's Laguna Colorada reveals a lake dyed in brilliant shades of red, where flocks of pale pink flamingos gather like brushstrokes on a painter's canvas. How do these impossible places come to be? What forces, natural or human, shape destinations so astonishing they seem unreal? Join us as we explore 40 of Earth's most mind-bending wonders, each one a reminder that our planet still holds mysteries capable of shocking the world. Mendenhall Ice Caves. Hidden beneath a 13-mile stretch of ancient glacier, the Mendenhall Ice Caves form a glowing blue underworld shaped by meltwater carving tunnels through ice more than 100 years old. Their ceilings, sometimes over 20 feet thick, are built from compressed snow layers that trap tiny air bubbles, bending sunlight into that surreal electric blue glow. The glacier moves up to 2 feet per day, constantly reshaping the caves, while the coastal Alaskan climate swings from freezing storms to mild thaws that sculpt new chambers. It's a disappearing world, alive, shifting, and scientifically extraordinary. Red Beach in Panjin. Spreading over nearly 30 square miles, Panjin's Red Beach is a surreal tapestry where geology, chemistry, and climate collide. Its vivid color comes from Sweda salisa, a salt-loving plant that turns from soft green to deep crimson, as autumn temperatures drop and salinity rises. Formed over thousands of years by river sediment, merging with the mineral-rich tides of the Bohai Sea, this wetland creates one of Earth's rarest natural palettes. Seen from above, the landscape becomes an immense sweep of ruby tones, so vast and uniform it almost resembles a cosmic terrain rather than a coastal marsh. Madonna della Corona. Carved into a sheer limestone cliff, nearly 2,600 feet above the Adige Valley, Madonna della Corona feels like a structure suspended between earth and sky. Its origins trace back to the 11th century, when hermits sought refuge in this natural rock ledge formed by ancient tectonic uplift. Over centuries, builders anchored the sanctuary directly into the vertical stone, creating a masterpiece where geology and faith merge. The church's narrow facade, pressed tightly against the cliff face, contrasts with the vast void below, an architectural feat that seems almost impossible, as if gravity itself makes an exception for this sacred place. High on Bolivia's Altiplano, at nearly 14,000 feet above sea level, Laguna Colorada glows with an otherworldly red hue, a phenomenon rooted in geology and biology, working in rare harmony. The shallow lake sits atop an ancient volcanic plateau, where mineral-rich sediments and microscopic algae react to intense sunlight, tinting the water in shades of crimson, copper, and rose. Fed by geothermal springs and winds that sweep across the desert plain, the lake's chemistry shifts throughout the day, turning it into a living canvas of color. And in this surreal landscape, flocks of pale pink birds wade through warm shallows, their presence shaped by the very minerals that paint the lagoon itself. Thridrangaviti Lighthouse. Perched on a wave-beaten sea stack in Iceland's Westman Archipelago, Thridrangaviti Lighthouse is one of the most isolated man-made structures on Earth, so remote that its foundation rises from a pillar of basalt, barely 120 feet wide. Formed by ancient volcanic eruptions that sculpted the North Atlantic coastline, this jagged rock tower endures winds that regularly exceed 60 miles per hour. Built in 1939, the lighthouse required climbers to scale the vertical cliff by hand. Today, the only reliable access is by helicopter, landing on a pad scarcely larger than a living room. Suspended between storm and sea, Thridrangaviti remains a testament to human persistence, engineering, and the relentless geology that shapes Iceland's wild frontier. Half Dome. Rising more than 4,700 feet above Yosemite Valley, Half Dome is a geological giant sculpted over tens of millions of years. Its iconic shape, one sheer vertical face and one smooth, rounded slope, formed as glaciers, peeled away massive slabs of granite, leaving a natural cross-section of Earth's crust on display. The rock itself is a single block of resilient quartz monzonite, fractured into sweeping curves by ancient uplift. Today, visitors climb its steep cables to witness waterfalls thundering from cliffs over 2,000 feet high. From the summit, they stand atop a monument carved by ice, gravity, and unimaginable time. River of Five Colors. Hidden in the remote plains of Colombia lies the River of Five Colors, a place where geology, biology, and time collide to create a spectacle no artist could invent. For a few months each year, a rare endemic algae ignites the water with bands of red, blue, green, yellow, and black, turning an ordinary stream into a living canvas. Flowing through sandstone, carved over more than 1 billion years, the river runs across natural rock channels, shaped by ancient tectonic uplift. Sunlight, water temperature, and mineral-rich currents must align with near-perfect precision, making this phenomenon one of Earth's most fragile and extraordinary natural events. Rising from the waters of Montenegro's Bay of Kotor, Our Lady of the Rocks seems almost impossible, a lone sanctuary floating where no island once existed. This tiny oval platform was created over more than 5 centuries, stone by stone, after sailors dropped rocks at the same spot following a legendary discovery in the year 1452. Gradually, it became an artificial island about 160 feet long, capped with a church built in the early 17th century. Its pale blue dome, Venetian walls, and cliff-like foundations appear to hover between mountain and sea, a feat of human persistence, anchored in one of the deepest bays on the Adriatic coast. Carved over 200 million years by water and time, China's Li River flows like a living painting through a maze of limestone towers that rise more than 1,000 feet straight from the valley floor. This karst landscape was formed as ancient seabeds dissolved and collapsed, leaving behind sharp peaks, hidden caves, and mist-filled corridors. At dawn, pastel light settles over the glass-calm surface, turning the river into a silver ribbon, winding between emerald cliffs. Along its banks, traditional fishermen cast wide bamboo nets, an art passed down for centuries, adding a quiet, poetic rhythm to one of the most dreamlike waterways on the planet. Garden of the Gods. Carved across 130 million years of geologic turmoil, Garden of the Gods in Colorado is a natural archive of Earth's deep past. Here, sandstone layers that once lay flat on an ancient seabed were thrust upright by tectonic forces, creating fins that soar more than 300 feet into the sky. Their vivid reds and oranges come from iron-rich minerals, oxidized over millions of years, while pockets of white quartz shimmer in sunlight. Wind and frost sculpted the formations into spires, arches, and balanced stones, all aligned along a fault zone stretching nearly 3 miles, forming one of America's most surreal geological masterpieces. Bentonite Hills of Utah. Shaped over 60 million years, the Bentonite Hills of Utah look less like Earth and more like a painted alien planet. These rolling domes were formed from volcanic ash that weathered into bentonite clay, a mineral that swells when wet and shrinks when dry, creating the hill's rippled, almost rubbery texture. Iron oxides and manganese give the landscape its surreal palette: deep reds, soft lavenders, pale greens, and bands of chalk white. Each stripe marks a different ancient climate layer, preserved like pages of a geological diary. Under sunlight, the hills glow with color gradients so precise they appear hand-painted, making this desert terrain one of the most visually otherworldly formations in North America. Lake Baikal in Siberia is a scientific marvel, the oldest lake on Earth at more than 25 million years and the deepest at over 1 mile. Formed by a slowly widening rift valley, it holds 1/5 of the planet's unfrozen fresh water, more than all the Great Lakes combined. In winter, temperatures plunge to -40 degrees, sealing the surface with crystal ice up to 6 feet thick. This frozen sheet fractures into geometric patterns and forms transparent blue ridges that look like shards of glass. Along its limestone shores, ancient caves grow dagger-sharp icicles and towering ice stalactites, sculpted by wind and freeze-thaw cycles. The result is a landscape where geology, climate, and time collide to create one of the most impossible natural environments on the planet. Lena Pillars. Rising along the Lena River in Siberia, the Lena Pillars form one of Earth's most surreal geological archives. These stone spires, many towering more than 1,000 feet, were sculpted over 500 million years as ancient seabed sediments hardened into limestone and were slowly carved by frost, wind, and extreme temperature swings of nearly 100 degrees between seasons. From above, the pillars resemble a colossal stone forest stretching for tens of miles, with razor-like ridges, vertical chimneys, and wave-shaped formations created by relentless erosion. Their layered walls preserve traces of prehistoric oceans, making this otherworldly skyline both a natural cathedral and a time capsule of Earth's earliest life. Hidden high in Portugal's Serra da Estrela Mountains lies Covão dos Conchos, a landscape that seems torn from science fiction. At its center is a perfectly circular opening, about 140 feet wide, that appears to swallow an entire lake. Though it looks like a natural sinkhole, this striking feature is actually an engineered spillway built in the 1950s, designed to divert water through a tunnel more than 1 mile long. The surrounding granite basin, carved over millions of years, frames the portal with rugged cliffs, mossed rock, and alpine silence. From above, the lake's symmetry and the dark circular void create an almost cosmic pattern, blurring the line between natural wonder and human ingenuity. Nyiragongo volcano, rising more than 11,300 feet over the Congo Basin, is one of Earth's most extreme geological engines. Its crater holds one of the planet's largest permanent lava lakes, an incandescent pool driven by tectonic rifting that has been active for tens of thousands of years. The volcano's slopes are built from fast-flowing alkaline lava, capable of moving at nearly 60 miles per hour, a speed almost unheard of in volcanic science. Deep below, fractures in the East African rift feed Nyiragongo with magma from Earth's upper mantle, creating a landscape of fractured black rock, glowing fissures, and heat that reshapes the terrain year after year. The White Desert of Egypt looks almost extraterrestrial, a chalk basin sculpted over millions of years by wind, sand, and ancient seas. Its towering formations, some rising nearly 30 feet, are made of soft limestone, eroded into surreal shapes that resemble mushrooms, towers, and frozen waves. This landscape sits within the vast Western Desert, where temperature swings of more than 50 degrees Fahrenheit help crack and reshape the rock. From above, the terrain appears like a field of ivory sculptures carved by the planet itself. The Okavango Delta is one of Earth's rare inland deltas, formed when the Okavango River spills across the Kalahari Sands instead of reaching the sea. Each year, nearly 3 trillion gallons of floodwater spread into a labyrinth of channels, islands, and grasslands. This seasonal pulse creates a wildlife sanctuary where elephants, lions, and more than 25,000 zebras migrate through a living mosaic. From above, the delta appears like a green handprint pressed into the desert, a place where geology, water, and wildlife converge in impossible harmony. Salar de Uyuni. Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat, formed when ancient lakes evaporated over 40,000 years, leaving behind a crust stretching more than 4,000 square miles. Its surface, made of hexagonal salt polygons, creates one of the most mathematically perfect natural patterns on Earth. Beneath lies lithium-rich brine, holding over half of the planet's known reserves. During the rainy season, a film of water turns the flats into a flawless mirror, blurring the boundary between sky and ground. Visitors walking here feel suspended in an optical illusion, as if treading across the edge of another world. Alula. Hidden deep within the sandstone canyons of northwestern Saudi Arabia lies Alula, a place so improbable it feels engineered by another civilization. These cliffs are built from 200-million-year-old sandstone layers, sculpted grain by wind erosion that can shear rock at over 20 miles per hour. In the heart of this desert stands Hegra, the first UNESCO World Heritage Site of the kingdom, where more than 110 tombs are carved with astonishing geometric precision, directly into the mountains. Many facades still preserve Nabatean inscriptions, names, prayers, and trade records etched almost 2,000 years ago. Nearby, the famous Elephant Rock rises like a natural stone arch, its shape formed by thermal expansion cycles that fractured the cliff thousands of times. And standing in sharp contrast to this prehistoric terrain is Moriah, the world's largest mirrored building, nearly 100,000 square feet of reflective panels. It captures the canyon's colors like a geological echo, turning the desert itself into part of the architecture. Bisti Wilderness. In the high desert of northwestern New Mexico lies the Bisti Wilderness, an alien graveyard sculpted by time. These badlands were once the floor of an ancient inland sea nearly 70 million years ago. As the water vanished, soft shale, sandstone, and coal compressed into fragile layers that erosion now carves at only a few millimeters per year. The result is a maze of hoodoos, balanced rocks, petrified logs, and formations so strange they look engineered rather than natural. Here, every curve and spire is a geological timestamp, revealing Earth's past in stone. Druid's Altar. The Druid's Altar of West Yorkshire looks mythical, yet its origins are entirely geological. This sandstone platform began forming over 320 million years ago, when the region sat inside a vast river system. Layer after layer of sediment compressed into stone, with a density of nearly 200 pounds per cubic foot. Today, erosion carves the rock into tilted slabs, balanced shelves, and table-like ledges, shaped so precise they seem engineered. Standing here, you're looking at a natural monument sculpted by deep time, not ancient ritual. The underwater waterfall of Mauritius is one of the planet's most convincing natural illusions. Off the southwestern coast, near Le Mont-Brabant, currents drag sand from the island's edge into a deep ocean trench more than 2,000 feet down. From above, this cascading sand creates the appearance of a massive waterfall plunging beneath the sea. The entire scene sits on a volcanic plateau formed nearly 9 million years ago, where shifting tides, reef structures, and light refraction combine to paint an optical mirage so precise it looks engineered. It's a rare glimpse of geology, oceanography, and illusion blending into one impossible moment. White Pocket, hidden deep within Arizona's Vermilion Cliffs, looks less like Earth and more like a frozen explosion of color and stone. This surreal landscape was sculpted over more than 150 million years as shifting sand dunes compressed into Navajo sandstone. Intense pressure, mineral-rich groundwater, and tectonic uplift twisted those layers into spirals, ridges, and bubble-like domes. Some formations rise over 40 feet, striped in reds, whites, and golds like molten marble. The surface texture, rippled, knotted, and cracked, records ancient wind patterns that once swept across a vast Jurassic desert. Today, reaching White Pocket requires navigating dozens of miles of deep sand. But the reward is stepping into a stone canvas where geology behaves like abstract art, and every swirl tells the story of Earth reshaping itself grain by grain. The Eye of the Earth in Croatia is a geological wonder that looks almost supernatural. A perfectly rounded spring at the base of the Dinara Mountains, shaped over tens of thousands of years as groundwater carved its way through limestone. Its mouth plunges into a vertical shaft more than 300 feet deep, forming a near-circular opening tinted with surreal gradients of turquoise, emerald, and deep sapphire. The water stays icy year-round, often below 43 degrees Fahrenheit, fed by an ancient caste system hidden beneath the mountain. Just above the spring stands a small stone church dating back over 7 centuries, its humble architecture creating a striking contrast with the crater-like pool below, nature and history staring at one another across time. Mono Lake in California is one of Earth's strangest ancient waterscapes, formed nearly 1 million years ago, making it among the oldest lakes in North America. With no outlet, minerals accumulate over time, giving it a salinity almost 3 times that of the ocean. Rising from its shoreline are the lake's iconic tufa towers, towering limestone spires created when underwater springs rich in calcium collided with carbonate-heavy lake water. Some formations reach over 30 feet tall, revealing twisted textures and porous stone that look more like coral than rock. Set within a high desert basin at 6,300 feet above sea level, Mono Lake's otherworldly terrain offers a rare look into natural chemistry, deep time, and the geological creativity of evaporation. Waterfalls of Columbia River Gorge. Carved over 15 million years by ancient floods and volcanic uplift, the Columbia River Gorge is a natural corridor where more than 90 waterfalls plunge from basalt cliffs. These towering walls, stacked in 6-layer lava flows, create vertical stages for cascades like Multnomah Falls, which drops an impressive 620 feet in 2 tiers. Moist Pacific air is funneled through the gorge, generating a unique microclimate where lush moss, ferns, and big-leaf maples cling to rock faces sculpted by Ice Age torrents. It's a rare place where geology, weather, and deep time combine into a continuous, living waterfall laboratory. Bryce Canyon. Born from 60 million years of uplift, frost, and erosion, Bryce Canyon is not a canyon at all, but a natural amphitheater carved into the Pansaugen Plateau. Its famous hoodoos, rising like stone chimneys, are sculpted by freeze-thaw cycles that can occur more than 200 times each year. These spires glow in bands of iron-rich reds, manganese purples, and creamy limestone whites, stacking like geological sunrise. With elevations topping 8,000 feet, Bryce's thin, cold air accelerates weathering, creating one of the planet's most intricate and colorful rock labyrinths. Brimham Rocks. Shaped over 320 million years, Brimham Rocks in North Yorkshire is a geological playground where nature carved sculptures stranger than any artist could imagine. These formations, towering pillars, balancing stones, and mushroom-shaped giants, were crafted as layers of millstone grit eroded at different speeds. Wind, frost, and rain, sculpted grooves, arches, and smooth curves, giving each rock a unique fingerprint. Iron minerals paint them in reds and ochres, while quartz grains add a muted shimmer. Rising above the moor at over 1,000 feet, the landscape feels otherworldly, as if gravity briefly forgot its rules. Perched above the Val di Funes at over 4,000 feet, the Church of St. Magdalena in Italy combines serene landscapes with centuries of history. Constructed in the 15th century, its wooden spire and stone facade reflect Alpine architectural traditions. The surrounding Dolomite peaks, carved from Triassic limestone over 200 million years, frame the church in a natural amphitheater of jagged cliffs and rolling meadows. Seasonal light transforms the valley, casting golden glows across verdant slopes, while soft alpine winds whisper through the centuries-old larches. This tranquil setting melds human craftsmanship with the majesty of the mountains. Shaped by millions of years of wind and water erosion, the Waweep hoodoos of southern Utah rise like ghostly figures in a silent desert amphitheater. Their towering white spires, some stretching over 30 feet high, are capped with dark, iron-rich boulders that protect the softer sandstone beneath. This rare caprock balancing act creates formations that resemble frozen giants, ribbed columns, and slender stone towers. Formed from Jurassic Age sediments, the hoodoos sit in a remote Badlands basin where fragile cliffs, chalk-white ridges, and sculpted walls reveal the slow, precise work of geologic time. Here, every pillar stands as a natural monument to erosion's strange and powerful artistry. Tayrona National Park. Carved by over 30 million years of shifting tectonic plates and relentless Caribbean waves, Tayrona National Park blends rainforest peaks with luminous turquoise bays. Its coastline is a maze of granite boulders, some the size of three-story buildings, polished smooth by wind, salt, and time. Crescent beaches cradle powder-fine sand where warm waters stay near 80 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Here, visitors can swim beside sculpted rock outcrops, hidden coves, and coral-lined shallows, experiencing one of South America's most dramatic and pristine coastal landscapes. Three Sisters. Formed across 240 million years of erosion, Australia's Three Sisters rise like ancient sentinels above the Blue Mountains. Each sandstone pillar, reaching up to 3,000 feet in elevation, was sculpted by wind, rain, and the slow collapse of surrounding cliffs. Their layered rock reveals iron-rich bands that shift from gold to deep amber at sunset. Perched on the Jameson Valley's edge, these towering spires showcase a rare blend of weathered joints, sharp ridges, and fractured terraces, creating one of the continent's most iconic and geologically mesmerizing silhouettes. Mount Kelimutu in Indonesia is a geological anomaly where three volcanic crater lakes, sitting side by side at over 5,300 feet, change color dramatically throughout the year. Formed by ancient eruptions and fed by mineral-rich hydrothermal systems, each lake reacts differently to dissolved iron, sulfur, and volcanic gases, turning from turquoise to jet black, or even blood red. This tri-colored phenomenon, shaped over tens of thousands of years, makes Kelimutu one of Earth's most surreal natural laboratories, where chemistry, geology, and mystery collide in one mountaintop. Al-Nazla Rock in Saudi Arabia is one of the planet's most baffling geological wonders. A towering sandstone monolith split by a perfectly straight vertical fissure as if sliced by a laser. Formed over millions of years, the rock stands balanced on two narrow pedestals, shaped by wind erosion and subtle shifts in the desert floor. The flawless symmetry of its central cut, measuring only a few inches wide, remains a scientific puzzle. Surrounding its smooth surfaces are ancient petroglyphs, carved thousands of years ago, depicting humans and animals that hint at long-lost civilizations crossing this arid landscape. This fusion of natural precision and prehistoric art makes Al-Nazla Rock feel less like geology and more like an impossible monument crafted by another world. Rocky Mount Cook rises like a white-crowned titan in the heart of New Zealand, where glaciers, more than 12 miles long, carve ancient paths through valleys shaped over 100,000 years. Here, weather shifts in minutes, winds scream past 100 miles per hour, and ice walls tower like frozen fortresses. This is a landscape still growing, still cracking, still alive, an alpine world where Earth's raw power sculpts impossible beauty every single day. The painted hills of Oregon look almost unreal, ridges banded in crimson gold and jet black, like Earth painted itself in slow motion. These colors aren't random. They're time-frozen in layers, formed across more than 35 million years. Each stripe reveals a different ancient climate: red for warm, wet forests, yellow for dry grasslands, black for volcanic ash that once fell in sheets. Some claystone layers crumble like powder, while others harden into rippled textures that catch the sun like brushed metal. This is geology you can read like a book, an impossible landscape where every color is a chapter written by deep time. Coron. Coron feels like a world sculpted by ancient oceans. Its jagged limestone cliffs, some rising over 1,000 feet, were once part of a massive coral reef formed more than 25 million years ago. Over time, tectonic uplift pushed these reefs skyward, leaving sharp cast towers and underwater walls covered in living corals with over 500 recorded species. Beneath the surface, lakes layered with both fresh and salt water create rare ecosystems found in only a handful of places on Earth.